Only eating at Burger King for a full day. So it's kind of insane, but I've actually never been to Burger King before. So for breakfast, I tried the French toast sticks and they were piping hot, super crispy, and so good with that like sugary sweet maple syrup. And I also tried this bacon sausage croissant sandwich. The bacon had a nice crunch. The sausage was pretty tender and the croissant was like flaky, also so freaking good with the maple syrup. Anyway, then for lunch, I had to try the chicken fries and I didn't love them with the ranch. They weren't like super crispy, but they were way better with the barbecue sauce because it added a nice sweet tanginess. Of course, I had to try a Whopper, which was huge, and I got the Southwest one, so it had these crunchy tortilla strips on it that honestly added a lot of texture, but the patty itself was so good. It had that like charred flavor, and oh my gosh, this Hershey's pie was my favorite. So creamy, and the chocolate on top was crunchy too, and the crust was nice and buttery. And then for dinner, I tried the Impossible Whopper, which had tomatoes, pickles, and onions that added a lot of flavor, but I feel like the patty didn't have that same char that the original Whopper had, and that's all for today. Only eating pizza for a full day in New York. First up, I went to Village Square, which is known for their spicy pepperoni slices. It smelled so good, you guys. And you have to add the hot honey. That sweet, spicy flavor is delicious. And oh my gosh, that pepperoni is so savory and crispy. And y'all, the sauce is a family recipe, so you know it's good. And this one's called the Grandma. It has homemade pesto that is so rich and garlicky and cheesy. I also tried their buffalo chicken square that has Frank's hot sauce, and it's literally covered in this whole milk mozzarella. Oh my gosh. Anyway, then we headed to Patsy's Pizzeria for that famous New York style thin crust pizza. And we had to try that original coal oven pizza, and oh my gosh, the crust, it's so perfectly chewy. Like, I don't know how they do it. And the sauce is sweet and tangy. And this one's called the Patsy's Pizzeria Special. So it's got Romano cheese, mozzarella, fresh basil, and pepperonis, and it's literally just a flavor explosion. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Only eating at 7-Eleven for a full day. For breakfast, I got this sausage biscuit that you microwave for 30 seconds, and it smelled really buttery. It was pretty fluffy too, but it definitely could have used like some cheese or an egg or just something to add a little flavor. And look at this bakery selection. I got this blueberry cake donut that had this really thick glaze, and it was actually really moist. It could have had a stronger blueberry flavor though. Then I went back for lunch, and the only pizza they had was this leftover breakfast pizza from the morning, and it was just so doughy. The sausage was nice and savory, but the cheese just kind of tasted old. They had these cookies that looked kind of fire though, so I got this caramel one, and it was so chewy and sweet. It had this nice sugary caramel flavor. And finally, I came back for dinner, and I thought these mini tacos were so cute. Sadly, they didn't have any queso to dip them in, and the filling was kind of a questionable texture, but that's okay because I also got one of these cute little mini cheesecakes. I tried this turtle one that was thick and chocolatey and crunchy, and the crust was pretty buttery too. And that's all for today. Eating like I did in high school for a full day. So in high school, I used to work at this mall, and I would always go to Johnny Rockets for lunch because they have the best onion rings, and they have this homemade ranch that they make from scratch every day. It's so thick. They're always like piping hot too, and the fries kind of remind me of McDonald's fries, really crispy. Today I tried this spicy Houston burger that had a bunch of jalapenos and pepper jack cheese, which is my favorite. Also this Chipotle ranch that was super garlicky. Anyway, then I went to Target because I always used to get Amy's pizzas. I love the pesto one, but they didn't have it, so I got the margarita one instead. And look at this cheese pull. Oh, and I usually broil it a little bit at the end to like crisp up the mozzarella. And honestly, Amy's has the best crust. It's so soft, but also chewy. I used to eat like a whole one of these every single day. And you guys, this was my all-time favorite dessert in high school, the Oreo Dream Extreme Cheesecake. Oh, in the back is the best part because it has that thick ganache frosting and the crunchy chocolate. It's just so rich and smooth. It's literally incredible. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Only eating Indian food for a full day. You guys, look at how cool this place is. I went for lunch. Of course, I started off with a mango lassi that was sweet and rich, so good. And then I got this gobi chicken Manchurian, and it was definitely spicy because we got it extra hot, but it was also kind of sour. There was just so many flavors going on. And of course, I had to get some vegetable samosas. They were so crispy. Oh, and you have to bite the corner off to let them cool. And then they came with this mint chutney that was so fresh. Anyway, then I asked our server what his favorite dishes were, and he recommended a bunch of stuff, so I ordered so much food. The sauce on the butter chicken was so thick and tomatoey, really sweet too. Oh, and the chicken was cooked perfectly. And oh my gosh, this chicken valevetti came steaming hot, and it literally just fell apart in my mouth. Like, it was so tender. Then I was pretty full, but I wanted to hit up another spot, so for dinner I got some chicken vindaloo. Our server asked if we wanted it super spicy, and of course I said yes. It was definitely hot though. I was like sweating and crying, but it went so well with the garlic naan. And that's all for today.